South Korea's president declared martial law, claiming rival lawmakers are subverting parliament and sympathizing with communist North Korea. The late-night move triggered chaos on the streets as hordes of angry citizens clashed with riot police. Under martial law, parliament and other political gatherings were suspended under penalty of arrest without a warrant. Despite that, the National Assembly met and voted unanimously to lift the order. South Korea's military announced martial law would remain in place until it is lifted by the president himself. President Yoon has said he would lift the order as soon as he could convene his cabinet. In a shocking move,
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rekahakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who ruled well and taught me this truth. Peace, blessings, salutations, and mercies to the elect, and the 1/3 remnant out there listening and doing this word with all faith and sincerity scattered amongst the nations and the four corners of the earth. To you, I say shalom, Lord willing. This video is edifying. It's going to be sitting around the video that you just seen on the screen. And if you don't know, now you know. Martial law was declared in South Korea. I'm not too sure. It's a lot of conflicting reports of, like in the video it said that the parliament, decided that martial law, or they decided to go back on it, while, at the end of the video, it just said that the president said that, or that the army said that they're waiting on the president to give the order. I'm not sure of the whole situation with that, but as far as we know, right, can confirm, martial law was declared in South Korea. All right. And, this is big because we understand that this is the direction that, Esau is pushing these world governments to go, right? Complete lockdown under military authority. All right. And this came overnight out of nowhere, like a thief in the night. Nobody in South Korea was expecting this. From my understanding, the Korean government didn't even notify, the United States government what they were about to do. Okay, it just came out of nowhere. And the reaction from the people was very strong, because it's pretty much a suspension of the Constitution, the suspension of rights for civilians. All right, we understand that the Constitution has been out the window for a minute now, but they at least pretend like they still go by it. Well, in the state of martial law, that is, no longer the case. Matter of fact, let me look it up. Martial law, right? And boom. Okay, so South Korea lifted martial law. So it's pretty much military rule. Martial law. What happens when martial law happens? Martial law involves temporary substitution of military authority for civilian rule and is usually invoked in time of war, rebellion, or natural disaster. When martial law is in effect, the military commander of an area or country has ultimate or unlimited authority to make and enforce laws. And best believe this is what they want to implement here in America. All right. And guess what? They're going to do it. Okay. Because democracy is dead. Let's face it. When you look at the rising governments in this world, governments like China, Russia, North Korea, Iran, Saudi Arabia, these nations are not under democratic governments. Okay. It's more authoritarian, and you're seeing the prosperity of these nations because of it. Okay. Democracy is it didn't work. Okay. It didn't work. All right. People voting for a new party or president or leader every 4 years. Okay. It breeds confusion and division and inconsistency. Okay. Distrust. So, and it's harder to control. Right. Because every 4 years you got the threat of a new government coming into or a new regime coming into office and undoing everything in which the previous government had done before. Right. So they're gonna get rid of that. All right. Because they need the world to be ruled, or they need these people to be ruled more rigorously. Right. That is the way of the future. Okay. Complete control and subjection over the masses. All right. A police state. All right. Surveillance constantly. Okay. Social credit scores. All right. Iron fist. That's what the end goal is. And that's why, they put Trump in there, because through the spirit, he's going to be the one to do it. All right. And as you can see, they can't just do it without a good reason, because they just tried it in South Korea and they got massive pushback. All right. So they in order to go through with this, they're going to need more of a reason. They're going to need a false flag. They're going to need people to agree with it. Okay. They need chaos, right? Order through chaos. In this situation, it was caused too suddenly, and it wasn't extreme of a situation to where the people could accept it. Right. So they rebelled. And it, similar things, will happen in America. Right. Or all across the world, wherever, because ultimately the world will go just like during COVID, the world shut down. Well, when martial law is declared, I believe through the spirit, it's going to be a global phenomenon. Okay. Under the threat of maybe world war or economic instability or whatever it is, they're going to put forth that legislation. All right. This is Matthew 24:6. And ye shall hear of worlds, Salakia. Matthew 24:6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And these wars and rumors of wars are what are going to drive these governments into enacting this. Political instability is what caused it in South Korea. I think the Korean president was under threat of being impeached. right? And he said, what? They're too cool. Pretty much the rest of the government, or the government is, or parts of the government. I'm not really sure how everything works in South Korea, but the parliament wanted to normalize relationships with North Korea, which is a no-no, right? And counteracted. That's what the president decided to do. All right, it didn't work, but he did it anyway, which goes to show that that is a play that is being considered. All right, he was just the first to do it and enact it. Okay. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So these wars and rumors of wars and these the instability that's in the world is going to continue to grow. It's going to get worse. It's going to become more extreme. All right. Because this is all accumulating and leading up to the day of Yahweh Shemau Shai, Armageddon, right? For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places. See? And this is an example of that. The whole nation came up against, these orders, man. People are in the streets protesting. People are very angry. I mean, out of nowhere, it's armed government soldiers patrolling the neighborhoods, telling you can't come out of your house, right? Not only that, but they take control of resources and different infrastructures that civilians are dependent upon. Okay, very, very scary times. Very, very troubling moments that these South Koreans experience. Well, guess what? The world is going to experience the same thing. Okay, especially here in America. All right, it's going to be, the worst here. All right, and guess what? It was reversed this time. But who's to say next time it will be? Right? Esau pretty much just showed his hand with this play right here. This is, this is big going into 2025. And we already hearing, this is, this is major, man. All these are the beginning of sorrows, and that's what we in. We in the beginning of sorrows. All right. Where there is just so much uncertainty, so much unknown. Okay. And during the time of something like martial law, you can expect a famine. Okay, because like I said, the government takes over all resources. That includes food, water, right? Electricity, medicine. Okay, and all distribution goes through the government. But not just like, nigga tell you, well, shit, they do that now, shit. Well, nah, not like in martial law. In martial law, it ain't gonna be no Walmart. Matter of fact, during the time of martial law, Walmart turns into a concentration camp. It turns into a holding facility. Right? Ain't no more police force. Ain't no more job, work, school. Nothing. All of that ceased to exist. It's just straight government tyranny and lockdown. Okay. And in that time of martial law, they have the go ahead to shoot and kill civilians. right? If they don't comply. You don't think that's going to come to America? Okay. South Korea is a American ally, a very close American ally in Asia, right? You don't think that's liable to happen in America? This is 2 Ezra 15 and 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. One people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand, right? And clearly their government is divided, right? Something like this in a country like South Korea could spark a civil war, right? Because ultimately that's what the attempt was. The attempt was for the president to gain complete authority and control over the government without having any opposition. Okay, without having anybody come up against him under the guise of martial law. Right? That's how that guy Zelensky in Ukraine is able to still reign, because he suspended the elections. How are you able to do that? Through martial law. Right? That's how he's able to force people to join the army and, kidnap men, send them to the front line, because in the time of martial law, it's not you don't have rights. You don't have liberties. Okay? Not if the government says you don't. For there should be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power, just like they did in South Korea. They said, fuck that. When it happens in America, you think these Americans are going to sit back after experiencing something like 2020 and what happened in it, and the effects that it had on people, the depression, the anxiety, the suicide rates, the violence, okay, the confusion, the distrust. You think that once the order goes out, people are just going to sit back? Nah, man, it's going to be absolute chaos. All right. Matter of fact, in order for them to even declare it, it's probably going to be chaos to a certain degree. Already going on. Okay. But when it happens here in America, it ain't going to be no walking it back. See, Esau still pussyfooting. Because he understands, man, once it goes down, man, it ain't no, it's on. Once it's on, it's on. Okay. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power, right? Because there ain't gonna be no more police authority and you know what I mean? Civil services, right? All of those things are gonna disappear. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, or due to what? The city's being cut off, right? Martial law, highways being shut down. Okay. You're not going to be able to go into another city because of the crackdown that'll be happening, man. Because of the chaos that's going to ensue. Right? People ain't going to even want to come outside. That's why scriptures talk about Jacob's trouble. That's what it's going to look like. Right? A suspension of the Constitution a suspension of the government as we know it. The purge, right? For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Everyone's going to be afraid. Nobody's going to know what to do. Nobody's going to understand. We've never seen anything like that in modern history, you know. So, the results of it are going to be detrimental. People aren't going to react to it civilly or rationally. People are going to bug out. Okay? People are going to be afraid. They're going to lose it. And a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And best believe once it's established that the military is taking control over everything, and they set up those camps, you know, those 15-minute cities to where you're going to have to need a microchip in order to enter or to leave, right? Best believe it's going to be a lot of famine. It's going to be a lot of pestilence. Okay. Destruction is going to be a lot of death. Okay. And the only way to escape it is going to be through that microchip and being placed in those 15-minute cities or, you know, whatever they set up as a guise of safety. Right? Under a technocratic government, because that's what it's going to look like. Okay? Because once you put that device inside of you, you are a piece of hardware. You become a piece of hardware. You become patented. You become property, government property. All right. And once it's declared, it ain't no going back, man. It's not going to be, you know, oh, and tomorrow is normal. Nah. Once that order goes out here in America, in the States, you know, it's already over. And with that, I give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Shemel, Shabbat, Shem, Rakakudash, Wa, Abba, Babal, and DTADTN.